Hello guys, today we'll be solving the problems of mean deviation under continuous series. In the last video we did problems of mean deviation under individual observation and discrete series. Now we'll be starting with continuous series. For the continuous series we have to keep these four formulas in mind. There is no differences with mean deviation or coefficient of mean deviations. Formula remains the same under all the methods. When it comes to mean, the formula here would be sigma fx divided by n, and for median it is little changed because we have to first identify the class interval. That happens when you use this formula. N divided by 2th term, you get a class interval. To identify the exact value between these class interval, you have to use this formula, that is median is equals to L plus n by 2 minus cumulative frequency of preceding divided by frequency into C. Okay, we will just start with the first problem. Find out mean deviation by using mean as a method here. So you identified these two columns are question. Here what you have to identify is the question belongs to continuous series because we have lower boundaries and upper boundaries. So first of all, they've asked you to solve this under mean. You have to first write down the formula of mean. X bar is equals to sigma fx divided by n. You should first identify mean. To identify mean, you have to do fx. So before that, you have to identify x column. X or is the mid value. That is, with the help of class interval, you can identify x. 10 plus 20 divided by 2, you get 15. 20 plus 30 divided by 2, 25. Similarly, if you identify the mid value, you are getting the x column. After extracting x column, the next column would be f into x. These two columns should be multiplied to get this fx column. You have to total this. With the help of this total, you can identify the value of mean, that is sigma fx is 2700 divided by n is the total of frequency column 60. You are getting 45. So after extracting the value of mean, you have to identify another column, that is mod d, because write down the formula first. Mean deviation is equals to sigma f mod d. Before doing f into mod d, you should identify mod d. So how do you identify mod d? The formula for that is x minus x bar if it's mean. What if it is median? It would be x minus m. Now let's just bother about mean. It's x minus x bar. So this is the x column that you have identified. All these values should be deducted with the x bar answer, that is 45. So 15 minus 45, you are getting 30. 20 minus 45, you are getting 20. Next it is 35 minus 45, you are getting 10. 45 minus 45, you are getting 0. And next 45 minus 55, 10. 45 minus 65, 20. 75 minus 45, you're getting 30. Okay, but however, what you have to understand is these x values should be deducted with the mean value. Okay, after extracting this column, the last column is f into x, that is this f column into this mod d column. So 4 into 30, 120. Similarly, you have to multiply all these frequency values with the mod d. You will be getting this answer. You need to total it. Sigma f mod d is 680. Now just simplify the formula. 680 divided by total of n is 60. You are getting mean deviation is 11.33. So the last step of this is coefficient of mean deviation. Formula is mean deviation divided by x bar. Mean deviation is 11.33 divided by x bar is 45. So if you do the division, you are getting 0.2517. This is how you need to solve mean deviation under continuous series under mean method. So another problem I've taken as an example, what if the mean deviation is asked to solve under median? Then it is very easy. These two columns are question. Wherever in the question I've written the data in blue ink, it's a question. Black ink would be the solution. Okay, see, they've given you the class interval like this, below 10, below 20, 30, 40. So you understood that the width of each class interval is 10. Now when it is below, it is understood you have to start from 0 to 10. So the first column would be 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. Similarly up to 70 to 80, because it is below 80, not about to go with 80 to 90. It's just below. So 70 to 80 would be the last line. After calculating class interval, immediate next column would be actual frequency, because in the third chapter itself I had told you, whenever the question is in below format, the frequency would definitely be cumulative frequency less than, which means it is in ascending order. From the lowest number, it is reaching to the highest. So this 100 should be the total when you do the actual frequency. So I have done the actual frequency keeping 5 as the same. 5 minus 13 is 8. 8 minus 20 is... I'm sorry. 5 I've written like this. 5 minus 13 is 8. 13 minus 20 is 7. 20 minus 32 is 12. 32 minus 60 is 28. 60 minus 80 is 20. 80 minus 90 is 10. 90 minus 100 is 10. So if you total this column, you should get 100. Then only the answer is correct. Now the next column would be x, because it's a continuous series. You have to identify mid value. So x is 0 plus 10 divided by 2, 5. 10 plus 20 divided by 2 is 15. Similarly, with the help of this class interval, if you are extracting the mid value, you have already identified the x value. That means you have extracted the values of this x column. Okay, now just write down the formula first, because after writing down the formula itself, you will know which are the other columns to be extracted. The median formula is size of n divided by 2th term. So size of n is the total of this actual frequency, 100. I've written 100 divided by 2th term. I am getting 50 as an answer. To identify where does this 50 lies, I have to definitely extract this cumulative frequency column. And this column is again a repetition of this column, because for median we have to identify cumulative less than. They've already given us less than. I have just written the values as it is there. Keep one thing in mind, if the question is above 10, above 20, then the frequency given here would be cumulative more than. So in such a circumstances, keeping actual frequency as a base, you have to freshly identify cumulative frequency less than. Don't just write down the values whatever is given under frequency to extract this cumulative frequency. Since in this question they have already given you cumulative frequency less than, it is easy for us to write down these answers. Okay. After extracting cumulative frequency less than, you know how to identify this, right? 5 as it is, here actual frequency 5 as it is, 5 plus 8 is 13, 13 plus 7 is 20, 20 plus 12 is 32, 32 plus 28 is 60. Okay. The next, after extracting that, this 50 lies under which cumulative? It lies in this 60. Its corresponding actual frequency and class interval should be marked. So the next formula is m is equals to L plus n by 2 minus cumulative frequency divided by f into c. So this n by 2 is 50. I've already identified. Now let's simplify this formula. M is equals to L is lower limit. I've marked here 40 is the lower limit. So I've written 40 here, plus n by 2 is 50. I've already identified, minus cumulative frequency of preceding. Preceding is 60, its preceding cumulative would be 32. Write down this 32 divided by frequency. The 60's corresponding actual frequency should be marked, that I've written here 28. into C is 10. That means it is the width between these class interval 40 to 50. The difference is 10. If you simplify this, you will be getting median answer as 46.42, which is approximately converted to be 46. Now after this you have to identify mean deviation. So you know it very well. For mean deviation I have to identify mod D. Formula is x minus mean. Mean I have already identified to be 46. X also it is already available here. All these values should be deducted with 46 and you need to write down, that is 5 minus 46 you get 41. If you are getting minus symbol, I've already told you to ignore, because we are using this mod symbol to ignore the signs. So you have to use this, all the x values to be deducted with this median, and you are extracting this mod D column. The last column is sigma f mod D, because the formula says sigma f mod D divided by n will give you the mean deviation. So this frequency, actual frequency column into mod D column, if you do it you will be getting these answers. Total it, and the simplification is 1420 divided by n is the total of actual 100. You're getting 14.2. Again, coefficient of mean deviation is easy. Mean deviation divided by m. The mean deviation is 14.2 divided by m is 46. You are getting 0.308. This is how you need to solve the mean deviation under continuous series. This is very important for 14 marks. Every year, since as per the analysis from the last 5 years, one question for 6 marks is for sure. I'm sorry, I'm repeating it. 6 marks, one question from this mean deviation is for sure. Even you guys can check. I've just solved the problems here. See, 2014, even in 2015 they are asked, 2017, 2018, and even in 2019 they are asked. I'll be sending you guys the photos of these notes. I want you all to write down in your notes and solve the remaining questions. These two problems are enough for explanation. Keeping this as a base, you can solve the remaining problems. Thank you.